For home studio producers, the most common thing that they have to deal with is recording vocals from their home. And it has to be clear, it has to not have any noise in it. So what are the basic things that you need to know in order to get a perfect quality vocals recorded at your house? That is what we're going to see in today's video. I'm Florina Jain, otherwise known as Flow of Music, and I put out a lot of videos related to music production and music business in general. So if these are something that you like, then hit the subscribe button. So let's get into the video. The basic thing that you need to know is the equipments that you need in order to record at your house. So all the basic stuff, including a mic, you definitely need an interface, you need a laptop, and you need a DAW. Now you need headphones. I've made a detailed video on the equipments that I have and the things that I use. If you would like to look at that video, I'll put the link in the screen. The next thing is, usually it's better to start recording only when the composition is done. Sometimes when you finish the composition halfway, you may not have the entire energy of the song at your fingertips. So if you call a singer, they may not be able to put in their entire energy into the song. Maybe the chorus section has a lot of drums and bass and cello and violin and a lot of orchestral stuff coming in, but you didn't program that yet. You just have a simple piano melody and you just want to record your chorus over it. The intensity of that chorus will not be understood by the singer. And as a result, what they might do is probably not give their best energy into the chorus section when they're singing. They may pull their voice a little bit back because they're not exactly getting the energy from the track, right? So it's usually better to record your vocals after the composition part is done. It's okay even if you don't record the live instruments, if you have to record any. As long as you've done your programming part correctly, better to record your vocals right after that. That's what I did for my recent song. That song is called as Reasons.
I've got reasons to lift my hands.
And only after I completed the entire composition part, I began recording the vocals. And that gave us a lot of room to think on vocal layers, how to add harmonies and all those stuff. And in turn, it came out great. The next point will be to prepare the room where you're going to record. We're not talking about a fancy recording studio. We're talking about our home setups. And if you look at my room, it's definitely not soundproof. And this is definitely not an ideal room to record your vocals. But you need to do the best of what you have, right? The first thing is, if you do have soundproof in your room, well and good. If you don't, you can try buying these very cheap panels or some foam kind of a material and stick it around the corners of your room and at the opposite edges where you actually record your vocals. That will try and grasp some of the unwanted echo from your room and it will help your vocals be a bit clearer. And if you are in a situation like me where even I don't have panels like that, then it's better to record your vocals when there is actually no sound around you. For example, at late nights, when there's not much traffic and when all of your family members have slept away, that's when you can record. Or early mornings is another better choice. You can also try this method, which may sound really funny, but it does work. Have bed sheets surrounding you when you're recording. So that will not allow noise to a certain extent to be recorded. So just cover yourself with a blanket and then have the mic closer to you and just try singing into that. Also, it's a very good thing to turn off your AC, your fan, whatever makes noise, just turn everything off, especially when you're recording. So moving on to the next point, and the most important point when it comes to recording, not just vocals, anything for that matter, is gain staging. And I have mentioned about gain staging multiple times in a lot of videos because it's very important to get your tracks in a very healthy manner. You can't continue to have a track that is either really soft, so you need to manually boost the gain after that, or having a really loud recording and then trying to fix it in the post-production. Neither of these work, okay? You need to have a healthy recording, and to do that, you need to properly gain stage. And if you ask me what gain staging is, it's basically setting your gain levels in your interface correctly so that a proper healthy level of signal gets inside your DAW. And if you don't know how to gain stage, I have already put up a video regarding how to properly gain stage. So I'll link the video up here so you can have a look at that as well. Essentially, when your volume faders, it should not touch the red color mark. If it does, that means you're in the danger zone, okay? That's how you need to look at it, because you don't want your tracks to be really high, and you should not have it really low as well. So the limit that I prefer is minus 6 dB, and a lot of producers prefer that as well. It's not like you need to stick on to exactly minus 6 dB, but have that as your check mark. Anything around minus 6 dB works well. Now, if there are sections in your song that are softer and louder, for example, the verse section, if you're singing it in a very soft manner, do a proper gain staging for that section first. Finish off all those quieter sections. Then when it comes to the chorus, which is going to be the powerful or the hook part of your song, obviously you're going to sing it with a lot of energy, and obviously the loudness is going to be there, right? So do a separate gain staging for those sections. Separate those sections and do. And I'm not meaning to say separate each and every line if you're singing it softly and loudly, not like that. Separate it as sections. Like I said, verse, chorus, things like that. Now coming to the next point, it is mic placement. Now, even though you've done a proper gain staging and all that, you can't keep your mic far away and then try to sing it, okay? It doesn't work that way. You're gonna not get the right signal. In fact, you're even gonna record the room noise as well. The reverb from the room is also gonna get recorded. So keep it in a proper manner. Don't keep it too close, and you're going to record a lot of bass sounds and it's going to sound really odd. If you keep it too far, it's going to catch all those, thin elements from your voice, and you don't want both. So keep it in a fair distance, okay? And another thing is use a pop filter. Now, the reason you need to use a pop filter is to avoid all the harsh S, P, T, all those sounds, okay, all those letters that you think will make those unwanted noise. Just to remove all those stuff, you need pop filter. And pop filter doesn't entirely remove it, but it does reduce it to a certain extent. So always prefer using a pop filter. Another important part to know is that you can't keep holding the mic in your hand when you're singing, because unknowingly you will change the distance, and that's going to create a lot of changes in the track that you're recording. So it's better to have a mic stand and start recording by placing your mic on the mic stand tightly fixed, and stand in a position that is in a fair distance from the mic and start singing. Don't hold it with your hand. Don't hold the stand with your hand. Don't shake the mic when you're singing. And if you do these things accidentally, just re-record that portion. Now we've talked about a lot of things that you need to know when you have to record. So before moving on to the next point, I want to know what mic you all are using for recording vocals, or what mic you prefer. So drop them in the comments and let me know what mic you like. And I'll also mention what I am using at the moment. You need to remember that what you're recording, you shouldn't record it like as if it is a live performance. What do you do when you're performing live? You're going to sing a song at a stretch at a given time. You're not going to pause, repeat a verse, or you're not going to correct something if you sang it wrongly. You're not going to do any of those things. But a studio recording is entirely different. You can continue to sing and retake as many times as you want until you nail a part. And always keep that in mind. It's not like if you record something at one stretch, you are a pro singer. Nothing like that. There are so many professional singers who do multiple vocal takes until they get the right take. Make sure you nail each and every line, each and every phrase. Whether it's up to your satisfaction or not, you need to decide, and continue to take or retake as many times as you want. Stack up layers. Vocal layers are something that I love to do, and I love to manage them. I love to pan them and work on it. Experiment your songs using vocals. It's not like your songs will shine only when the composition part, when it comes to the music, is brilliant. It's not like that. You can make the song shine by using vocal layers as well. So take the time to record. Another thing that I tell all my clients while recording them is that they should not rely on post-production for fixing all their flaws. The reason why you're coming there is to record your vocals perfectly. After coming to the studio, if you make a pitch error and you tell me, okay, Florina, you can just, correct it by using Melodyne in the post-production. Why do you want to rely on post-production? Try to nail it on your own. When your song sounds amazing in the composition part and right after recording itself, when you play it and it sounds really good, it means your song is going to turn out really well. So don't rely on the post-production part right when you start recording itself. Try to nail each and everything in the recording stage itself. Don't rely on post-production. The purpose of post-production is to make it better. It's to not fix all your errors. So just remember that when you go for a recording or when you do a recording in your house next time. When you're recording, obviously you will be having a headphones on and you'll be listening to the composition when you're singing. You definitely need to hear the music when you're singing. So don't keep the playback too loud when you're recording. Otherwise, it's going to bleed into the microphone and your mic is going to record that as well. And you don't want that. So don't blast the music track into your headphones a lot. At the same time, don't keep your metronome volume too loud as well. Otherwise, it's going to be annoying. You're going to hear the tuck, tuck, tuck sound inside your vocal track also, and you don't want that, right? So make sure not to keep any volume too loud and keep it in a reasonable level. So these are the different things that you can try next time when you're going to record vocals at your house. If any of these points were useful for you, just comment them below. And if you have more points to add, comment them as well. I hope this video was useful. Thank you so much for watching. Keep making music and I'll see you guys in another video.